Okay, good morning. Actually, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is the afternoon. I just finished work and we're going to be... I'm going to be honest, this is going to be a bit of a sleepy stream. One, because I'm a bit tired, and two, because we're not really going to be accomplishing too much. We'll be doing some stuff in the background. And when the robots run out of things to do, I might give them some more things like chopping down trees. But for the most part, what we're going to be doing is messing around with inserters. And I actually have messed around, so I know what I want to do, but it's just a case there are a lot, and I mean a lot of different stations. And we need to go through and upgrade pretty much all of them, and there's no automated way of doing it. So anyway, so if we have a look at this, 60 to 60, what you can do here is now that's 100. So this is 37.5. Do that, and now it's 100. So what it is with this, we can mess around a little bit, but see that goes down to 75. What you really want is you want to minimize the amount of rotation. So with this one, we do it like that. And now it's taking out and it's putting in, so that's still 60. So we do it like this. We are minimizing the rotations. That's 50. You put it over here, that's 60 because it's got less rotation to go. And okay, so that actually goes up to 150 because it doesn't have to change the length. So it's a bit off. So that's 75, that's 100, that's 50, and that's 100. So anyway, we can do it like that, and then we do over here. Do it for these guys. Well, the train's already gone through, so it's a bit faster. We can do this, and then look at how fast this is. Well, it's already done, but yeah. So this goes up from whatever it was before to about 500. And the unload speed is even faster. So if we do drop and pick up, that's now 300 per second. And again, 300 per second. Now these ones are a little bit slower. It's down to 150, but... And this one is 60, 37.5, 75. Actually, that's a bit weird. This one should be 150 as well. It is 150. I don't know why it wasn't, but yeah. 150 and 75 for here. And then to actually output it, we can't, I don't know why we get 300 here, but not 300 there. Yeah, it's a bit weird because it's exactly the same. It's just reversed. I didn't think the offset had anything to do with it, but yeah, so that is really nice. Oh, it looks like we're actually running out of things to research. Artifact processing. Well, running out of things to research without purple signs, and purple signs is a bit low at the moment. But we'll chuck the purple signs back on. Now that we've got bronze back a little bit, should be fine. So yeah, one of the things we're going to be doing this episode, actually the main thing we're going to be doing this episode is, I think I'm pretty happy with that. I think it's not going to get much better than that. So we're just going to copy and paste this, and we're going to basically fill in every single station. And we have to be kind of methodical about this and make sure we don't miss any. But it will be worth it in the long run. So that one doesn't have any loads. I'm going to go block by block, actually. We're starting on the middle block, which is not great, but... And then over here, These are the loads blocks. And we'll probably be updating some other stuff as well later on. The other side where it actually pulls in and out of the container. See, look how incredibly fast that is. And that's just with the current inserters. Once we upgrade them a bit more, they are going to be like missiles, basically. It's going to be almost instantaneous filling. That's an output chest, isn't it? Yeah. I'm going to try very hard to make sure that we don't... No, Control Z. This is loading. What they... Oh, these are all just for red circuits. Okay, so we're not doing any loading over there. You are loading and you are loading. And... Okay, beautiful. So, then we've just got the science and some more science and some more science. Yeah. So in terms of my list, all I had was fixed train inserters, belts in Mega Mall. The belts in the Mega Mall, it's still being built, a bunch of stuff. Once these inserters get finished off, it should start to work. Actually do need to fix something here. This is crushed stone, so we need to turn the crushed stone into stone. And that should be fine for that. And then I think I might update these because I don't really think we need the request. We'll just have the buffer and then we'll just request stuff. But I'll do that a bit later. I'm kind of on a roll with these inserters. These are for load ones, so we don't need any over here. Let's go down here and get the wood ones sorted. And over here, yep, sodium hydroxide. And this station, which is just coke. Yeah. Okay, so I gotta be honest, there's not really much to talk about this stream. This is just liquid resin, isn't it? We're not outputting any goods. Okay, that one's easy. And then batteries. Yeah, that got filled up very, very quickly. And electric engines. And that's it for this block. Let's go down to the next one. I think we've already done all of these. And we'll just do the rest over here. And yeah, it looks like construction robots are still pretty busy. We've got a ton of stuff for them to do, actually. So they will be busy for a while longer. Ingots, 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 ingots. Oh, I almost forgot. These guys are actually loading crushed stone, so we need to make sure that they get upgraded. Okay. So we did all of these already. And the good thing is it's kind of easy to tell if you've upgraded them, because the inserters are just like very high up. They're reaching very high up to actually do stuff. Nothing else here. And then iron ingots. And I feel like these extra inserters that we put over here, they were kind of a test. I don't think we need them anymore. We could still have them, but they're not going to be anywhere near as fast as the existing ones, because inserters are extremely fast when they're doing a less of a rotation. If you've got an inserter over here, it sort of does a bit of insertion over here. Like if we, let's actually get rid of these, if we change these to be 42, so that goes up to 150. That's not too bad. And then, yeah, okay, it's not too bad. 150 is not too bad, but I still don't think it's going to be necessary, because this speed right here will easily be doubled when we upgrade. Look, it'll almost be doubled just by getting additional inserters, and once we get a few more ranks of inserter capacity, bulk inserter capacity, then it's just completely insane. So yeah. Okay, and then this is actually, well, it's not taking as long as I thought to do. Well, this is just solar, isn't it? Okay, so it doesn't even need an inserter. It's not taking as long as I thought, but then again, we're just doing the load stations. So once we get stuck into the unload stations, that's when it's going to start taking a lot longer. And I really hope I haven't accidentally done the wrong stations here. Like these ones. Because as soon as we mix an unload for a load, this is the belt. Okay. So we've done 3 blocks. We got 2 left. Lead ore, and the crushed stone stations. You're just stone brick, aren't you? Yes, you're just stone brick. And now we get to the complicated ones. So we got crushed stone, and crystal. And then over here we've got the 4 ores. Thankfully no upside down stations being exported except for fluids. And over here, a whole bunch of... I was about to say sodium ingots, but they're not... It's not sodium, is it? It's something else. Is it sodium? This is steel. I know this is steel, but... Maybe it was... What the hell is it? Sodium. Silicon. That's what I was thinking of. Silicon. Okay, well... Sodium, silicon, it's all a mess. It's all a mess. Oh, that's like 2 or 3 stacks a second. That's incredible stuff. Yes, we have just fixed... I won't say completely fixed, but we've greatly improved all of our processes for train loading and unloading. The actual train unloading doesn't get improved as much, but it still gets improved a ton. An absolute ton. So, yeah. Yep. That's going up quite fast. So, I don't know if we'll actually ever get to having, like, instantaneous loads and unloads, but we'll get pretty close to it. And we'll get very close to it if we don't actually upgrade any of our train wagons, which I'm thinking we may not, because it requires a mod to upgrade them. And oh, here we go. There's an extra crystal one we've got to take care of over here. Yeah, I'm not really want to do more mods if I can help it, but we'll see how we go in the future. All right, so you are long and silver, and then 2 crystal stations here, and zinc, and that is the edge of the base completely. Yes, in terms of not really much else to talk about. In terms of what we're doing next, I think, look, we've done level 2 robots. We've done... Ooh, there we go. I'm going to get those two as well. Is this an output? No, it's an input. That's an input. All right. I mean, yellow science is kind of the big next thing that we're going to be doing. But that's got a lot of intermediate steps to get through. It's not like we just do... It's not like purple science where we just had everything and we could just do it. Okay, that is done. That is all of the things done. Now we got the... So this was the loading station, 150. So that's a total of 500. Now we do the unloading setup, which is a total of 900. So we're going from 500 to 900. And we're going to start all the way over here. So that one goes like that. And I'm trying to be very, very careful here and make sure that we don't miss anything. And if that takes a little bit longer, then it is what it is. But fair warning, this is going to be a bit of a slow episode. But as they say, slow and steady wins the race. And that is exactly what we're going to be doing here. All right, that's an unload. If we've done it right, then every station that doesn't have long inserters already is an unload. Doesn't have inserters stretching out to the heavens is an unload. Like these ones stretching out to the heavens, so we can just leave them. Alright. Up here. Unload, unload, and done. Unload, unload, and done. And that's that block done. What do we got? This is a load, isn't it? This is a load. I think I forgot this load. Forgot to set those up. So there we go. We're trying to do it slowly and methodically, but we still miss some things every now and then. That's okay. Well, the interesting thing is if we miss something, it'll probably just stay missed till the end of time. We probably won't ever realize it. Which is all right. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, probably won't be too much of an issue. That was it? Just the coal? Did we do this one? I feel like we skipped this one. Yeah, we skipped that one. All right. Okay, and then here we got you guys and we got you guys. It'll just be a case of, I think what'll happen is over time, I'll just be checking everything out. And maybe when we upgrade the stations later, I'll be like, hang on, I didn't do this one properly. What's going on here? Ah, we've got the output isn't off to the right. The output's in the middle. That's what confused me. Okay. Dum, 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 dum. And that's not right. Don't upgrade that one. That's actually the output. We don't want to mess with that. Although, I was not doing it anyway because that silo is full. Okay. Well, no, we're going over to the other block too soon. We don't want to be doing that. All right. Unload those 4. Unload those 3. And did I miss this station? I guess I missed this station. That is silicon and silver. And these are both unloads. And pretty much everything here is an unload except for these 2 at the far right. And then we've got science. Yeah, so I think, I'm not even sure what we're going to do after we do all these inserters. Probably the belts. We'll fix up the belt station. That'll probably be the #1 thing we do. And Okay, all of these as well. Every single one of these stations is an unload. And it will be nice to get these ones a bit faster. Give me 1 second here. Sorry, I had a bit of a cough going on there. Okay. Nope, that one. Thank you. Okay. That is it. Beautiful for that block. And then we just got 3 more blocks to go. So these are... Beautiful, 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 beautiful. 3, 4, 5. And 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And we'll know we've done this wrong if we come back in like half an hour or an hour and find out that there's no longer any iron in the entire system because a few of these inserters were just placed incorrectly, which I'm hoping will not be the case. I don't think it will be, but you never know. We have made catastrophic mistakes before that have... Actually, I don't think we've made any catastrophic mistakes. We've made decent mistakes that were like, oh yeah, this is not going to be running anymore. Almost destroyed, what was it, the mineral catalyst at one point, but managed to catch that error before the entire thing shut down. So that was good. What are you even building here? Engines. Okay, and that must have just been... Which means I need to upgrade these as well. Because solar, like every single station, is requiring of an upgrade. Does that mean your military science? I didn't upgrade this one, did I? No, I didn't. Okay, beautiful. And then up here, that's an unload, 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 unload. You are making the purple science, so beautiful for all of these. It's kind of weird when you think about it. You think, oh, I've got to upgrade all of these inserters. It's going to take me forever. And then when you actually do it, it's like, okay, it took 20 minutes. So, yeah, it's not too bad. Actually, going to take like 25 minutes, but, I mean, who's counting? Okay, so that's that block. 2 blocks left. 2 blocks left. Before I forget, let's do this as well. These are loads. Okay. Not sure these really matter too much. These are unloads, 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 unloads. And I don't think I'll even bother coming back for these loads because they're barely doing anything. Alright, 2 blocks left. Did we do... We haven't done this block already. Okay, 2, 3, 5. What's the deal here? What is the deal here? You guys are loading. You have not been upgraded. I guess I just forgot these 2. Okay, well, we've got the loading blueprint. Let's go back over to here. And then the crushed stone. Somehow we have 3 crushed stone stations here, but... Oh, and while we're out, Load, 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 and load. And let's do all these, because these are actually quite important. They get used a fair bit. Two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And that's all of those guys. So now we go down to here. And the unload setup will continue to spread across the map. That's an unload. These guys, oh, those are loads. Okay, those ones are loads, but this one is an unload, and these guys are all unloads. And you're a load. Okay. These ones are a bit better because there's so many loads here, but relatively few unloads. I think 5 unloads. All right. The good thing about carbon is whenever you see carbon, you know that it's an unload. What's going on here? Load. Okay, they're just in a slightly different orientation, but they're both loads. Okay. Oh yeah, that's going down like crazy. So that unload is incredibly fast. Oh, once we upgrade it. Yeah, look at it go. That's just an insane amount of stuff being transferred across. Alright, unload, unload. And at some point we do have to upgrade the pumps as well. We'll probably just do a global pump upgrade, to be honest, because there's not really any reason to not do a global pump upgrade. It's not like there's any pumps where we want to limit the throughput. Pretty sure we don't have any of those anywhere. So yeah, that should be fine. And almost finished the second last block. And it looks like the robots are actually done with all of their stuff. So we've given them enough time to actually get all of the solar done. Oh yeah, look at that. That's a thing of beauty. That is really a thing of beauty. Okay, I'm so glad I figured this out offline. Would have been nice if we could just upgrade them all a lot quicker, but it's absolutely fine. Okay, so you are the only ones over here, and no, not that one, not that one. That is definitely supposed to be an output. Why it's only on one half of the belt, I don't know, but I guess this is just some extra that's got left over because this station is so huge. And 51k. Okay, you're waiting at... what the hell happened here? We got 51k. C40. Okay, well that's a bit awkward. Crystal? Yes. Crystal, yes. 3 crushed stone. Yeah, this should be another crushed stone station. I don't know what Crystal is doing in there. Pretty sure that's right. Let's do some math here. What did we say? So this is 0.25 and 0.25. So 0.25 times 60 is 15. Same here. So we got 15 of each. I don't know why we've got 6 machines on each side. We only need 5, but whatever. So 15 times... So we need a full yellow belt of crushed stone coming out of here. And a full yellow belt and a half. So that should be covered there. And then this is 1, and then this is 1.5. So, okay, so we do need 3 belts of crushed stone. And 3 belts of crystal. Well, 2.5 of each to be precise, but yeah. So these inserters are correct, and this is supposed to have the crystal on it. Which begs the question of why... Yeah. Alright, so we need to go ahead. Where was that station? This one. We need to go ahead and fix this up. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to delete this station. Because the problem is if you paste one station over another station, it actually affects the trains currently pointing at that. So we may end up with... we need to... Actually, this will be a good opportunity to fix these. We need to fix up the inserter things here. Hopefully we don't have to re-blueprint that. We may just be able to do that automatically, but... station load. So that needs to be crystals. Yeah. That should be a bit better now. And then it's a load station, so it needs to be like so. We'll fix up all the other stations first. And then I'll worry about the blueprint. I'd really prefer not to have to create a new blueprint all over again, but I guess if we have to, then we have to. But yeah, that sounds like a pain in the butt. But we're almost there. We're almost home. Oh, that's right. It's over here. I was wondering where the main input for this process was, but it's all the way on the second station. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And aluminium ore. These ones, I'm pretty sure they've already been done. Yep, looks like it. Okay. Coal into clay bricks. Apparently that's the only ingredient it needs. Very nice. And these 2 silver wire. And then this is the concrete bricks, which require a few different ingredients, but not too many. And then I'm going to say we're done. Looks like we're done. That we did them all already. Yeah, looks like it. Okay. So yeah, it took about half an hour. And we fixed up a broken station along the way, which was nice. Now, these blueprints. I don't think there's any way to change the orientation of these guys, unfortunately. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take a screenshot of this parameterization, because I really don't want to mess it up or anything like that. So we're going to save that. We're going to do, that was station load, right? Yep. 200 C1 L050 P0S 333. Okay, beautiful. All right. So station load. And we're just going to say, no, we're not going to say mineral catalyst because that's something we actually have. We want to say something like CPUs because we don't actually have them. So we're not going to get a train delivering a whole bunch of crap into the station while we're actually doing something. So this is a load. So go down to here. And load. Okay. Now, what I'm going to try and do is select new contents for the blueprint. Like so. Okay. Don't need that. The rest looks fine. Parameterization is kind of parameter. Okay. So that needs to be item, parameter, ingredient of 200, P0 and LS, C1, L050. Done. Save blueprint. All right. So now, if we do station load, we're going to do Nitinol gear wheels. Got a bunch of really good inserters. 1 divided by C gets the C divided by, are these only stacked to 100? Jesus, okay. Yeah, all right, beautiful. That looks like it worked. Excellent. Let's get rid of all this crap. And now we got to do the, that was the load station, right? Yeah, that was the load station. All right, let's do the unload station now. Parameterize build against CPUs. Give me an unload. And it did seem like it actually captured most of the parameters, but we're going to go ahead and take a copy of this again using the snipping tool. Beautiful. Yep. All right. Select new contents for the blueprint. Again, don't need that. Parameters. Parameter. Stacks. So this is item. 100 yes, 200 yes, formula, SS1. No, so it's beautiful. Okay, look, that looks good. That looks very good. Okay. So let's get rid of grabbing a tree there as well. Definitely don't want to have that tree there. And this power pole to nowhere. Oh, it's not to nowhere. There's some other thing there. Okay. Let's just get that back to being default. And now, station unload. Give me some silver zinc batteries. Unload silver zinc. Inserters look beautiful. Divided by 200. S minus blah. Divided by C. Gets the C out. Puts it back in. Does a whole bunch of stuff. Okay, looks good. All right. So I believe that's all good. These ones we shouldn't need to mess with. At some point we'll do an upgrade planner to put in some better pipes. Pumps, I should say, better pumps. We do have level 2 pumps. So these are 2400 as opposed to being 1200. And we could do that now if we really wanted to, but I'm not too fussed about it. I mean, well, maybe we should. If we have a look from red pumps to blue pumps, 284. Yeah, okay, we'll just do that. And then we'll take these, upgrade, save blueprint, and fluid train unload, upgrade, save blueprint. And we'll be doing that a couple more times when we actually have better of these, because we will get better ones. But I'm guessing, do we actually have the ability? We do. But it looks like it takes brass and titanium. And we have a look. We actually did. Yeah, this is a passive provider chest, so we'll be able to get them out of there as well as putting them on a belt and sending them down. Okay, well, the construction bots are pretty much done. We've got all the red belts up and running. So if we have a look, for pretty much full belts of copper. Looks like there's a little bit of gaps here and there. Not sure exactly where those gaps are coming from. Yeah, because this belt is totally full. This one has still got a bit of gaps in it, so could upgrade these inserters, might make a difference, but it's getting stalled on crushed stone, actually. Not sure how that is happening, because this is a red belt as well. I'm assuming, yeah, these are all up to 12 per second, so they've definitely got enough to be able to empty out a red belt and to fill a red belt as well, so that shouldn't be a problem. Yeah, not 100% sure what's going on there, but for the most part, 4 full belts, and if we go up here, 6 full red belts of copper ingots coming out, which means we also did this one as well. That is a full belt. So that's basically 120 iron plates per second coming out right now, which is fantastic. And that should mean, yeah, brass looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. 120 brass per second. Very, very happy with that. And if we have a look at the display over here, there is a bit more red than I would like. Hold on a sec. Let me get rid of these trees. That looks like iron sheet coils there. That should be improving over time because we just upgraded that station. Steel as well, very low. Maybe we should upgrade that. I think we already upgraded that. I think so. Steel is a very high value product though. We're using a fair bit of it for what, both production science and transport science. Plus we just created a new belt build. Plus we're still creating tons of solar and accumulators, batteries. We did do a major expansion to power just now, so I'm not too worried about batteries being downhill. Green circuits, probably drained by solar, which we did a huge expansion, but yeah, I mean, we're doing all right. If we look at the 5-second graph, only 1.6. Oh, it's going downhill. I think the sun's setting. Yeah, so it was up at 2.3 gigawatts just before, and the accumulators are extremely, extremely healthy. It started to go downhill, and yeah, look at it now. It's a very, very healthy accumulator graph. So we shouldn't really be seeing steam engines come online anytime soon. A lot of crystals available, but not a lot. Although most of these crystals are probably from the one build, the one station that we just fixed up. So This should be going good, I think. It's turned off. It's turned on in all places by the looks of it. So I guess we've got a decent amount of this stuff, mineralized water stored in there, which is nice. Yep, all looks good. All looks good. Beautiful. Yeah, so pretty happy with that. This train line though. Okay, yeah, all three. Hold up a sec. What's going on here? They were just stalled. They were just stalled, and I have no idea why. Yeah, I got no idea why they were stalled. Hopefully that doesn't happen too much. Okay, you guys are asleep, so that's fine. We might have to have a look. Hopefully there's not too many trains. Let's have a quick scan. I mean, that station was a bit of a wacky one. That was the one that we actually fixed up. So I'm not too worried, but... Yeah, okay, you're full. We'll just have a quick scan major stations to make sure that seems to be okay. Seems to be okay. Doesn't seem to be any... Yeah, that one's definitely filling up. Or emptying, or doing stuff. I don't know what the deal was with that one. It just seemed to not want to work. For whatever reason. But everything else seems to be fine. It is? No, that's not... That one's not broken. I thought for a second it was the upside down ones that were like, no, we're just broken. But no, this one's actually full. We got too much crushed stone. Well, that's actually a little bit concerning. That's quite concerning. How have you got too much crushed stone? I guess these guys are all full, is the problem. So we're not draining crushed stone fast enough. Is that actually right? It shouldn't be right. Not really. Not really. I mean, we only got one extra station of crushed stone, so I would not say that's right at all. Phytorefugariums, let's get those out of the way. No, we are well into the area of... Wait, there's so much purple science. What are you guys trapped behind? Nuclear power. Okay, there's trapped behind uranium processing. Seems like a lot of this stuff is. And yeah, nitinol and all that jazz. So I'm not too concerned about it. There's not a huge amount of purple. Just like this page here. These 3 or 4 rows. Trapped behind weird things like uranium and nitinol and tungsten and blah, blah, blah. Well, let's not worry about that too much. We only got 63 of those pipes left, so they're clearly going all right. Let's fix up this process, because I don't really like this process. I don't like having this thing in here, so... Alright, here's what we do. Delete this. We're going to leave the spacing the same. You are going to be requesting basic transport belts, 1,000. Go on, hurry up and delete that. We'll put the buffer chest there and we'll do that. So that makes it a lot quicker when things are being done. And then we'll make this a long buffer chest. Which doesn't actually reduce the speed. Well, it's going from chest to thingo, so yeah, that's alright. So it's requesting 1,000, and this one will work if is less than 500. And that'll be a nice little buffer for that. And we've got to... Alright, so we've got to get rid of this and get rid of this. Because I really didn't like the idea of this one producing red belts and them ending up in a requester chest. That just seemed to me to be a little bit stupid. So we're going to redo this process for all of them. But we're still going to keep them spaced out because it's good for the intermediates to have them be spaced out. You're already producing some stuff. That's great. Okay. And then you are going to be yellow belts and yellow belts. And then red belts. We're actually going to leave this blank. Yeah, we're going to leave it blank for now because we don't want to be in a situation where the buffer chest up here is pulling red belts out of the provider chest back down the starter area. That would kind of be a bit dodgy. So this one can definitely be 500 of that. Might as well make it 1,000, and then this one like so. Do the same thing over here. 1,000 and 500, and then over here, of course, blank and 500 and blank and 500 blue. And at some point, have we got purple science again? I feel like we might have. Let's give it a crack. Yeah, looks like we got purple science again. Very nice. Very nice to see. I assume that science is still struggling a bit, but it does look like it is pumping out a little bit, so our science should eventually get there. And, oh, alien science. But the good thing is we actually have... We got plenty of this agricultural science, not running out of that anytime soon, and we've pretty much researched all the agricultural stuff we had access to. I'm not going to say we researched every bit of it. There's still probably a bit left over. Actually, maybe not. Maybe we did get all of it. There's a couple left over. High level, like agricultural module 5. Yeah, it's fair enough. I'm not sure if there's any more though. That kind of annoys me. Space science only being unlocked when you actually send a satellite into space. It's kind of a bit annoying, but it is what it is. We'll deal with it. I think that's it. I think this is the last agricultural science other than... what about agricultural module 4? What happened to... Oh, we've already done it. No, we've done... Okay, so there's 4 and there's 5. I missed 4 in there. Okay, so there's 2 more. There's 200 and there's 250. So 450. Okay. Wonder if agricultural... It doesn't show the... If I do plant life sample, that doesn't show anything. Okay. Oh, how many we got here? We got 9. Alright. We'll let these guys run, but I think we turn these inserters off. We won't break down any more gardens because it doesn't seem like we need to. Okay, what was I doing? We were doing belts, weren't we? Yeah. So we've got another 500 going over here, which is this one stopped, which is beautiful. This one's waiting on gears. Oh, that's right. There was another thing I needed to remember to do, but I forgot to do it. We are supposed to be doing iron, not silver. I think I want to increase this a little bit because we've actually got enough steel gear wheels to do red belts at full speed, but we haven't got enough of these. So I think maybe I want to squeeze another one in there. But to squeeze another one in there, I got to do this. Pick up and then that's fine. That's a little bit janky, but it is fine. It is absolutely fine. All right. So that's red belts, all done. And then we've got 1,000 yellow belts being delivered here, which is beautiful. So we're successfully recycling all 12,000 yellow belts that we've got in the system. All right. Let's get stuck into some of these guys. So we need more tin and more iron gears. So this needs 17.5 tin. So let's get some tin over there. I think I should just get rid of that. Let's just put that there and put that there. And then we can have those guys there. And we'll get rid of that as well. And we'll put these ones here. I don't want to get rid of the yellow belts yet, though. I feel like they're still useful-ish. And I don't want to put too much pressure on the steel. If we start using red belts absolutely everywhere, it's going to really start hitting the steel hard. All right, so that's 10 plus 10, that's 17.5. Okay, we'll see what we can do about this process. So this is 10. Well, that's steel, actually. Well, iron is about the same. All right. All right. 25, which will fit on the red belts. 12.5, 2, 3, 4. Now. Oh, it's not symmetrical. Okay. So we do need a bunch of red belts here. Alright. 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this takes... I'm just going to belt in the iron. It's a little bit easier. 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Long, 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 and long. Beautiful. Should be powered up, and then this guy. 1, 2, 3. And yeah, I'm not sure if we really need to go this hard on getting the iron out, but might as well. So that's 10 per, so shift in, shift in, shift in. And I'm not sure if we're going to be able to maintain this speed once we get to steel. Probably not, to be honest. I think V, that's what I was looking for. I think once we get to steel, we'll probably just give up a little bit with the undergrounds, not trying to make them at 100% speed. But we'll see. We got a lot of space over there. Maybe we can do a nice big steel build over here and feed it in like that. But for now, it's 10 and 10. It's not quite enough. Put one more. You're needed over there. Yeah, alright, well that takes care of yellow undergrounds anyway. Not that we need a lot of them. We've got apparently... How much of these do we have in storage? Well, only another 1k. So not too many more, so we will need to produce them at a decent speed, but... Yeah, let's get red undergrounds. Now you need 8.75 of those. Those might as well just be normal inserters. Don't need bulk ones for that particular purpose. Okay. And then we just need... That's actually not that bad. 12.5 steel. This one requires 10. Okay, 12.5. It is much less painful than I thought it would be. Okay. Now you do 10 per second. Okay, so we do need a little bit more. Just a little bit. We don't need these on the backside though. Alright, so... Get some steel over here. No, let's not do that. Let's do this instead. No, actually, let's not send it down that far. Let's just do something dodgy like that. Why not? Don't want to go underground, apparently. Alright. So this is going to take about 12.5 iron per second. And this one takes about 5. So we're already at the point where we need to upgrade this to a red belt. I'm guessing probably the iron as well. It'd be a good idea to upgrade that one to a red belt. Although at that point we are crashing our entire supply of red belt, of iron, and probably steel as well, but It's not about continuous creation. We don't want to be able to keep this up forever. We just want to be able to say, okay, we need a bunch of stuff right now, make it really quick. But there's no way in hell we're ever going to have enough resources to keep this process running 100% of the time. It's just ridiculous. All right. Pick up 714 is approximately 20. That should be enough. Okay. And then that should be red undergrounds once all that stuff happens. And I don't think we're going to create blue here today. But we will create... obviously, we'll create the splitters as well. Yeah, we'll create the splitters over here. Kind of interesting. It almost wants you to create the inserters in the same way. But we do have the inserters just in a regular old building area up here, which is normally where I do the belts, but I figured since this is a train and belt based build, and we have had, I'm not going to say problems, but we have had situations in the past where we've just placed down a whole ton of belts and not really had enough, that it is good to get a major build up for all the belts. And especially with logistic signs, because we span that up, and the thing that was slowing us down by far the most was... where is it now? It's over here. Was the belts. Okay, hold up a sec. What's going on here? Steel gear wheels. No steel. Okay. Purple signs. Purple signs seems to be okay on steel. This signs does not. Steel is still going okay. I mean, these are red belts. These are yellow belts. This pipe is relatively empty. Okay, that's fine. I mean... we can't really double this because we're using up a full red belt of steel. And right now a full red belt of steel costs 4 full red belts of iron ingots. And we're also using the iron ingots over here. 4 of them to make this. So right now we're using 8 full belts of iron ingots and we're producing 6 of them, which is a bit of a mathematical problem. So expanding steel or iron is not going to be possible. And yeah, so that's... look, steel is dying a hard death. Iron is dying a hard death. Iron ingots are somehow hanging on. I don't understand how they're hanging on, but they are definitely dying a hard death as well. So I don't think that iron will survive until we get to the end game and we can say, oh, beautiful, look at this, green buildings everywhere, prod modules everywhere, beautiful. I don't think iron's going to survive till that point. And there's really no room to be doing some sort of weird doubling. I mean, maybe we could, but I mean, you look at this, it's like, all right, how do I build a few more? It's pretty much, look, it's pretty much a case of, do we double this or do we move it to blue? What are all these gaps? Okay. Well, I think we saw this before, but these gaps are really starting to annoy me. I mean, that's 10 buildings. It's got to be this at the end. I really don't understand, because these are 1.5 per second. It should be... it shouldn't be backed up on this crushed stone, but it is. It is actually backed up on the crushed stone. And these ones are fine. So the inserter speed is not an issue. These inserters are having... well, they're kind of getting stalled a little bit because the belts are too full. These inserters are having no issue whatsoever. Yeah, I don't know. There are still a little bit of gaps on these belts as well, so they're not perfect. Maybe if there were faster inserters, it would make it a little bit easier. I mean, we can make them faster inserters. Just upgrade from yellow to red in this particular circumstance. See if it actually helps. Do it there as well, there and there. These ones aren't running fast enough to really require it, but we'll do it for the other four. We'll see if that makes a bit of a difference, but the TLDR is, I think we'd have to double this. Now, we could double and move it somewhere else. We can get rid of one of these solar things and put it right next to it. Just have 2 iron right next to each other. That's not a bad idea. I don't really like destroying the solar, but then again, you know, it wouldn't take too long to do it. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. Took like 5 episodes to clear out all those chests, but they are all gone now. Very, very happy. No more crap. And everything in logistic storage should be up at the Mega Mall now, which means the bots, whenever they're building stuff, they should just be flying around in this little area. And as we can see here, the amount of logistics robots is actually going down, which means we're building the blue ones, shoving them in storage, and they're not actually doing much with them. We can make this 2,000. Actually, what we'll do is we'll make this 500. Oh no, actually we'll just... yeah, I feel like 500 is enough, and this guy will also be 500. But what we'll do is we'll actually change this to be a passive provider. And this one was already a passive provider. We'll make this one a passive provider. That way you don't have any problems with this chest overflowing and thus the robots not being produced anymore. But it looks like we're back to having... Well, this one's out of construction robots. I don't understand that at all, because the construction robots shouldn't really be that busy, so... Should be more than enough in here, but... If we have a look, 1,800 blue construction robots, that's about a third of the total thing. And this is 1k versus 3k logistics, and I'm guessing we've got another... How many in storage? Should be another 1k in storage, approximately. Yeah, 868 in here. So, we're about 40% of the way on, I think, both robots. Both robots about 40% of the way totally converted. And I love seeing... Yeah, these ones are starting to look slow by comparison now, these red ones. But the blue ones are just zipping all over the place. And, of course, titanium is required for the level 3 bots. But, alright, so you're running pretty much full speed. Nothing is really slowing you down. Chucking a bunch of guys in there is going to back off with 500. 500. 500 for undergrounds is pretty good. Maybe I should make the number less for these guys, but it's fine. Okay, beautiful. And steel is going okay. I'm not sure if we needed to make these ones red, but anyway. So I think for now we're just going to make splitters. And then I'm probably going to leave it. I don't think I'm going to make blue ones yet, because we don't really need them. And I don't see myself saying, oh, we don't have enough iron, let's upgrade to blue belts. Because at that point, we've designed everything, every part of every station to be dealt with red belts. So we'd have to redesign the station or stretch it out or something to make it work with blue belts. And I really don't want to do that. And we don't want to get into beacons either or modules at this point to try and speed it up. So I think if we absolutely need more resources, then we just start copying stations, which I don't like the idea of, because I think in the end game, in the 18k mega base, we probably don't need duplicate stations, but I also don't want to be suffering with lack of iron all the way until we get yellow. And look at this crap. Okay. We need to do something about crotinium. Clearly, crotinium is... It's not actually... I mean, it's definitely not red belts. So that's a thing. Let's make it red belts. We did the same thing with Givelite and Sapphirite, so let's do it for crotinium as well. Actually, you know what? Let's just say done. Okay, all of these are getting red belts. Yeah, you get red belts. After all, we've got a massive amount of red belts now. So Rubite, you haven't been upgraded to red belts yet. So Rubite, Bombonium needs to be upgraded to red belts. It's a bit tricky because it's so close to the starter base, but we will make it happen. That's all those done. Beautiful. And then we got these ones done, and we've got all of these ones done. And I feel like mining drills as well. So crotinium upgraded. Coal probably not needed, but we'll do that anyway. Stereotype, sure, why not? Bombonium, sure, why not? Sapphirite, definitely not needed, but why not? And Rubite, let's do it. Okay. So that's 1 point. That's going to be a whole lot of mining drills. We should be already making mining drills up here somewhere. Yes, we are. Beautiful. Everything that we need is being made up here. I could expand that storage, but honestly, mining drills is not something we're going to need to make a whole lot of. So that's absolutely fine. I do like the fact this is not too far. We could have put this a little bit closer, but it's good enough for recycling belts, and it's not too bad. Remember, eventually this is going to be the center of the entire base. We're going to build up and around and stuff like that. We're not going to build any further east than this. We'll build a little bit further west than this, depending on how much petrochem we need, but this will be the furthest we ever build east. Okay, look at all these robots stored in these roboports that are suddenly being called into. Why are you calling the red bots into action when you have blue bots? That just seems so very, very silly. Alright. I'm faffing around a little bit with not wanting to build the splitters, but I think we just have to go for it. Okay, let's go ahead and do this. Yeah, that should be okay. We'll build it a little bit closer. Okay, you 1,000 of those. You might as well just keep using 1,000. And then you are 500. You are 500. And you are 500. Okay, we'll let that sit for a second. And we need to start getting these components, electronic components, stationed in. Because I'm sure we'll be needing all sorts of circuits. Yeah, red, green, basic, and straight copper wire. Okay, alright. Station, unload. So we need... might as well just put the copper wire coil, basic circuits, green circuits, and red circuits. And you got the fancy new inserter configurations. Excellent. I realize these inserters are kind of backwards. I'm not going to say backwards, but these belts are kind of backwards because this red one is the one that goes up the top and this one is the one that goes down the bottom, but really? These ones require, I guess, okay, that's not too bad. So splitters. Ah, they require. Okay. We'll just do like this. Okay. It's a bit messy. Alright. So it goes like that. And then this one will need a whole bunch of gears. This one is already covered. Needs 2.5 and 2.5, that's fine. You need copper wires. And this is beautiful. 20 per second should be more than enough. It's not quite enough, needs 6.25, but whatever. Okay, and then you require iron gear wheels as well. 17.5 per second. Still less than the 25 for this, but definitely requires another red belt setup. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this again. And I feel like we'll do it over here. Okay. So we'll change that down to 4, which is a total of 20, which is a bit more than 17.5, but that's fine. This can stay exactly the same. Yeah. Haven't left much room down the bottom, but that's fine. And beautiful. Now, basic circuits. How many did you say you needed? 17.5. Okay, that's a good load of that. That's 6.25. One yellow belt should be enough for that. You need tin as well. My God. Alright. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll do this then. No. Drop off there. That should be fine. And then We have a tin unspooling belt. Jeez, everything seems to need tin these days. Absolutely everything. And this is quickly becoming just another bunch of spaghetti. Which is going to be... It's going to be interesting. But... Yeah, needs exactly 10 and this produces exactly 10. So that is quite a bit. Okay. Bronze and green circuits requires 3 green circuits and 5 bronze per second. Maybe actually I'll put an underground here so we can keep a little bit tighter there. Goes underneath. You go under there. You get deleted. You go like that. And then we've got a nice little double belt. For electronic circuits and bronze. Nice little double belt. And then we need 8.75, which is less than the 12.5. So this is, we just need one of these little setups. That's all we need. And we just need to get steel over there. And I feel like we're just gonna thread it through here. Yes, the ultimate spaghetti base. Or maybe not ultimate, but... Yeah, why not? We'll do a bit of a crazy dog leg on top of a dog leg and just do that. My god, that looks so ugly. Okay. This is going to be slightly less ugly. But it's still okay. We could go under all the way over here, but that's a little bit dodgy. Anyway, that's fine. You don't have multiple dog legs at the same time. That's just like this. This looks ugly. What we might do is we might just do that. And then you pick up from there. And then it's fine. We got dog legs everywhere though. It is just a... What the hell happened here? Who decided this was a good idea? It is nice seeing these little blue robots zip around everywhere, doing lots and lots and lots of good work. Okay, with that, I'm not 100% sure, but I think we might be at the point where everything... Waiting at the depot. Are we low on green circuits? I think I was about to say everything that needs to be that we were previously doing at the start of Ace is now being done at a new base. Jeez, how much green circuits? Like these guys, they're not asking... Okay, so this one's asking for a chain. I think we're going to start treating these like... Yeah, I've already started doing it with a few stations. These are going to be... It's basically an extension of the mall, which means that they all get a priority of 80. We do not want belt production to be held behind because of science, because science will just keep going forever. Whereas belt production, we do not want that actually lagging behind. Okay, and then red circuits, we're not going to build this stuff yet. We're just not. Come on, little bots, little belts. It's looking pretty good. We are making these. We're just about to start making these, which is nice. There we go. There's a whole flood of gears coming in. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Yeah. And this is just literally just waiting on electronic circuits, and then we'll start making the red ones. Okay, well, I think we can probably call belts done for now. We've definitely got the stations available to expand this to be purple and then green belts. I don't think that's going to be an issue. Let's just double check. I want to double check these stations to make sure there's no more that are locked up. Like, oh, okay, that's a depot. Doesn't count. Because that one station, that one weird station that we looked at before, that the inserters were just refusing to work at, really got me worried a little bit that that's might happen again, but it doesn't look like it. It looks like all these other ones are good. Crushed stone, definitely backing up. Doesn't appear to be too bad though. Oh god, steel is dying. Dying a horrible, horrible death. How's silicon is doing okay. So we could have another steel station. It's just a case of... This is platinum, isn't it? Yeah, I mean, steel ingots, we're kind of screwed on. Iron ingots are terrible. So eventually I think iron is going to fall over. And steel is already falling over. So I think... Look at that. Even copper. Well, copper is falling over because crotinium is falling over. But we kind of fixed that. We're in the process of fixing it anyway. That's the wrong one. Yeah. Once we get all these jewels upgraded, that should hopefully fix a lot of it. Yeah, because we upgraded... These all got upgraded to red belts very, very quickly. I'm quite impressed with how quickly they got them upgraded. Yeah. And the red belts are almost full. So I feel like we just finish upgrading the rest of these drills and crotinium might be fine. And the rest of them are fine. This one's fine. This one's kind of okay. It's not great, but then again, we're upgrading some more drills for it. Bombonium, looking a little bit lackluster, but then again, with more drills, it'll be fine. And sapphirite, of course, is very golden. And givelite is terrible. And we've had this one upgraded to red drills for a long time now, so... Let's have a look-see, actually. Here's the thing, we don't want to go for the large area mining drills, because if we have a look, for blue drills, it's 1.25 per second versus 2 per second. So it's just over half the speed. The benefit is it does a huge area, but that's it. That's like the only benefit you really get. Other than that, it's just the speed is so much shorter. Now, this is double. This is definitely double the speed. So I think it's not going to be a bad idea to have some of these. Some of these on the way. So let's get some level 3 mining drills. Well, I'm not going to even bother making the large ones because the large ones would be good if we wanted to wipe out a mineral field a lot faster. But even then, they're not that much better. If your goal is just to wipe out the mineral field. Whereas if our goal is to just get tons of resources really, really quickly, then you always want to use the smaller ones because of the speed advantage. And we've actually got the fourth ones, which do 4 per second instead of 2 per second. So yeah, you can imagine the fifth and... is there a sixth one? No, there's just a fifth one. But the fifth one is 8 per second. which is still amazing. So, yeah. But it looks like copper... I mean, look, 4 red belts... We're not going to get a lot better than that. And... I think that problem has been fixed. If we have a look... No, there's still gaps. And you are still... Well, you're not backing up. These guys aren't backing up. Or are they? Not really. They're getting a whole bunch of crushed stone and then they're getting rid of it. But the machine's never stopping like it used to. Which then puzzles me even more, because how are these gaps? Like these huge gaps ending up. Are we still getting gaps in these belts? For us to have gaps in these belts, one of two things must happen. Either these belts... Well, a few things would happen. Either this belt has got gaps in it, or these machines are either backing up or slowing down. I'm not seeing any of them back up or slow down, and I'm not seeing any gaps in these belts. So I don't know what's happening. It's a bit of a mystery at the moment. Yeah, I mean, these belts, they look pretty chockers. No, oh, there we go. There's a gap. There's a gap. There was a gap in that belt. It's a very minor gap, but... And it's a very rare one. Whereas the gaps in these belts are all over the place. I don't know. Perhaps some of these machines are backing up a little bit. Doesn't seem like it. Seems like they're getting rid of their stuff pretty quickly. Yeah. I don't really know, because we've... this is taking 1.5 per second, and there's 20 machines, which is 30 per second. And this is producing 30 per second. So, in terms of ratio, it should be pretty good. I don't know exactly why that's having a problem, but... let's not worry about it too much. In the grand scheme of things, it doesn't really, really matter. Alright, anyway. Fixed train inserters, belts in Mega Mall, both done. So, let's have a look at what we do next. Let's try and build up a list for yellow science. I have a feeling we'll be building some stuff over time. Copper ore. See, iron ore is not too bad. That's actually interesting. Iron ore is not too bad. But iron ingots are really low. I feel like iron ingots are really low, and iron ore is not too bad because we're not overusing iron ore. We have 4 red belts going out, we have 4 red belts going into iron ingots. So it's a 1-to-1. So it's we're never going to suddenly drain all the iron ore because we're just not using it fast enough. Whereas iron ingots, we're using a ton of them. So let's consider for a second the possibility of doing an extra iron build up here. What are the downsides of doing that? Okay, so this is concrete, silver, and blah. So, do we need a zinc plate build? We do have zinc plates. We need them for silver zinc batteries. Thorium fuel. Okay, so we need them for... This is a science. I believe we need that for satellites. Yeah, we need them for satellites. So this is kind of a thing that we actually need to be making somewhere. So theoretically, that should have been made up here. We put concrete up there. So we could just march silver zinc up there instead. Okay. Silver wire is up here. We could expand this to also do silver plate, or we could have a separate silver plate. So silver plate, I'm pretty sure we're going to need at some point. Solar panels, heat pipes. Yeah, superior circuit boards. Okay, we need that. And then this is aluminium, which we're just... Hello? What's going on here? What's your deal? Ooh. Okay, somehow... It's because I put the solar over here. It's because I put the solar over here. Okay. Well, I don't know how aluminium plates are doing, but... Nobody really noticed. Aluminium's probably been dead for a while, and nobody really cared. But yeah, aluminium. We've got the scrolls for it. Aluminium. So that's fine. So this station is kind of empty. We don't really need it. This one is glass. Don't really need it. Bronze. These are alloys, so we could put it over here somewhere. Yeah, I don't know. We could also put it down here. It's kind of... I don't want to really start building a base where we put everything everywhere it can fit. I think a big part of me, a really big part of me, wants to get rid of this solar array and just put another iron here. I think that's what we'll probably do, to be honest. Because... Yeah, and maybe we'll move a couple of these solar arrays over. Because, yeah, I think we just need another iron patch. So what are you doing here? You are military science. You definitely do not need the space on your right-hand side. You are fine. Okay. And we'll make space for another copper one as well. What are you doing? You're bronze. Okay, you definitely do not need the space over here. Okay. Alright. And then you can all go away. And you can all go away. Because I feel like, yeah, copper and iron are going to be big things that we need a bunch of. And we will also need to do this and this. And I realize that I am destroying tracks in a very, very high traffic area, but you only live once, so you might as well do it. Okay. Boom, 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 boom. And I do like the fact that we've built the base so wide out and so nice and spacious. This one might be a problem, actually. We might need to redesign a bit, because I think we've got enough space. It's kind of leaning over into that territory, but so the next one will lean over a bit. Same as this one. It's fine. That should be fine. And this one doesn't lean over at all. Okay. So we'll just need to wait for those robots to get their stuff together. They're busy destroying all the solar, which we placed first. And they're also probably busy doing all of this mining thing. So I don't think we should brown out our base doing this. But it is possible that we may cut off access to the copper and iron ore and ingots at a very unsuitable time. But we'll just have to live with it. So what we'll do is we'll put station, and we'll duplicate the iron ingots and the iron ore, and then we'll have space free to duplicate the copper ones when we decide that we need to pull that trigger. But yeah, iron is definitely a bit of a problem. Copper ore, I don't know why it's in the red. I really don't. Because we're producing 4 belts and we're using 4 belts. I mean, we're not using copper ore for anything else in the entire base. So I don't understand. Maybe it was because this took a while to get done and this one got done a lot quicker. So could have been something to do with it, but anyway. While the construction bots are doing all that mess, let's go ahead. I'm still at the copper base. I kind of want to get out of here, but there's nowhere else I really need to go. So I'll just walk a little ways down here. And then we are going to go and check out yellow science. So let's try and split this into a few different things. So titanium, everything. That's going to be fun. Lithium ion batteries. Batteries, not batteries. I don't know what a battery is, but okay. LDS and then blue circuits. Okay, let's go through them one by one and see if there's anything crazy that needs to happen. I don't think there's too much crazy. All right. Well, let's go through the three, actually. So the three you haven't listed. Electric engine units already have a station. Done. Silicon nitride is right here. It's made from silicon powder and nitrogen gas. And silicon powder is just made from silicon ingots. So done. Not sure if we make a station for silicon nitride or just make it on base for yellow science, because we could just make it on base, because what was it? Yeah, there's 1-to-1 there and 1-to-1 there. This process seems a bit slow. I mean, 10 every 7.5 seconds. We could make it on base, but it might be a bit chunky, so we might want to make a separate station. Nitride. How much is it actually used for? Okay, it's used for CPUs, so it might be a good idea to make a separate station for that. So we'll say probably, let's say silicon nitride, question mark. We could also just make this where we already make the silicon circuits, which is the silicon ingots, which is somewhere. I'm getting lost on my own base. Yeah. Like this is tiny right now. We could easily put down another station that just makes silicon, or we could do something like this. Just add another silicon ingot and then convert it to, you know what, that's actually what we should do. Silicon nitride, add to monosilicon station. And we also have a note down here, better silicon ingots using triclosilane, which is probably not how you say it, but, or even how you spell it, but here we go. We have started destroying our copper and iron supplies by destroying all our train tracks. Look at this poor bastard. Actually, I don't know how that's going to work. I really don't know how that train is going to survive. Well, hopefully it makes it out the other end, but we may have to go down and do some manual stuff. That train's actually right below me, isn't it? I could just go over there and wave. I wonder who the driver actually is. Is it just like a fully electronic train, or is there like a little bot in the driver's scene, just like in the driver's seat, just like pressing all the things? Really don't know. Okay, well, we've just made this significantly worse. What were you doing? You were a Crotinium train. Okay, and you're empty. Well, I am sorry to say, but you are getting deleted. And then we just need to make a new Crotinium train up here. Okay, and Bob's your uncle. And the bots will get to that when they get to that. But you got to remember, that's a Crotinium train. Crot train. Beautiful. Crot train. Okay. So yeah, silicon nitride, and then small solar panel is only the red one. Which I think is complicated enough that it probably requires its own station. Because I mean, that's 6 different ingredients if we use the copper wire and the copper plate. So it's not super complicated, but if we want to make utility science packs, even with a double station. Like, that's just turning 1 into 6, so we may need a small solar station, question mark. If we have a double station, because, I mean, are we going to be making titanium bearings on station? I don't imagine we're going to have a train full of titanium bearings, so we're probably going to be making those on station. Which is not bad. It requires lubricants as well. So that's 2 goods coming in. Lithium-ion batteries, electronic engines, LDS, processing units will all have their own stations. That's 6. Silicon nitride is 7. And then another 6 for small solar panels. So maybe we don't need our own station for that. We can just make them. Because, I mean, what is it? So let's have a look. Small solar. Of course you're going to be like that. What does satellites take? Because satellites take... No, satellites don't take solar panels anymore. Not in Bob's Angels, so... Okay. So that's fine. Yeah. Beautiful. Alright. So we already had... So silicon nitride, small solar panels, and electric engine units are done. Titanium bearings are going to be... We just need titanium plate. Titanium plate comes out of the sheet coils, which we could just do basic unless we want to get into nickel, which I'm not sure if we want to, but we'll need to get nickel at some point. I mean, nickel... Yeah, we'll need it at some point because it's probably required for a bunch of buildings. And titanium is this stupid process which requires tetrachloride. Looks like carbon, chlorine. Yeah. Titanium. We'll just say titanium and we'll just say done with that. Lithium. Actually, we'll get a processing units because they're probably a bit easier. So this requires fiberglass, which requires liquid resin we already got, and glass fiber. And the glass fiber, where is it? It's just molten glass. And we're already creating molten glass to make glass, so we can just add glass fiber to the existing base, which does glass, which is over here. Yeah, so we already got molten glass. So yeah, making glass fiber, speeding it out here, dead easy. Yeah, so that's fiberglass boards. And the rest is pretty much the same, except we need silver plate, which we can add on easily. This is the same, except it needs integrated electronics, which is the same, except it needs gold wire. So, going to need gold wire, which is a whole chain, similar to the titanium one. If we have a look at gold, where are you, gold? Gold wire. We've already got the wire coil. Beautiful. Make this requires gold and copper, gold ingots and gold cathode, a bit more chlorine, chloric acid. Okay, we have to go to processed gold apparently. Oh, we could go directly to this. That's a 1-to-1. If we do the advanced... Okay, that's how we get chlororic. We need nitric and hydrochloric acid. So, okay, how many different versions of the recipe do we have here? I think we just got this. Gold cathode, which requires the chlororic acid, which I think is probably... I'm not sure if we go for that yet. I don't think we'd bother in the short term. When we do the mega base, we can look into that, but I really don't want to mess around with the acids too much if I can avoid it. Although we're going to need the acids to get the ores, because we're going to need to get all of these crystals. So yeah, hydrochloric acid we're probably going to need to get gold, because gold is sapphirite, rubite, and bobmonium, nitric acid. Okay, so we don't need hydrochloric yet, but yellow... Sorry, it was white? Yeah, white is there, and white is required for titanium. Okay, so we're going to need the acids as well. This is going to add nitric, hydrochloric. Do we need the third one as well? Nitric, sulfuric, hydrofluoric is for yellow. No, no. We'll probably need it for cobaltite, because I think we'll need cobalt for some buildings, so we might as well make it. Hydrofluoric. And that'll be a precursor for titanium-related malarkey. As well as the gold that we'll need. Anyway, so that's blue circuits. LDS is aluminium, titanium, and plastic. This recipe will kill our aluminium. It'll kill it in 2 seconds flat. 20 aluminium plate per LDS. It's an absolute beast. We don't need a huge amount of it for utility science, but it's still an absolute beast. Now, lithium, the final step, lithium-ion batteries. So we need lithium cobalt oxide and lithium perchlorate, which I have a feeling is in here somewhere. So the lithium cobalt oxide, as you can guess, requires cobalt oxide and lithium plates, which require lithium salt. Also requires lithium salt and sodium perchlorate. Let's actually have a look up here. Lithium plate, lithium salt, tons of thermal water, or the brown algae. So maybe thermal water, could also just do some brown algae stuff. So that's not too bad. And there's no other way to get the lithium. And then the cobalt oxide, which is just a... So we do need cobalt. We definitely need cobalt to make the science. Okay. That's something to be aware of. Lithium perchlorate requires sodium perchlorate, which requires a blue metal catalyst, which is gold and titanium, fine, purified water, and sodium chloride, which is hydrogen chloride gas plus sodium hydroxide solution, which is the sodium hydroxide, which you just so happen to get as a byproduct of producing chlorine and hydrogen gas, which you use to make hydrogen chloride gas. So it's kind of ties together very nicely to make this process. Okay. Lots of petrochem crap needed for lithium stuff. Yeah. That might be like a few stations in there somewhere. And then titanium, gold, cobalt. And if we really, really wanted to, we could get uranium as well. Thorium? I don't know what the hell it's used for. Thorium. I mean, it's not like you make like a really big hammer out of it or anything. I think it's... Yeah, okay. This is all advanced nuclear power related shenanigans, which you do actually use for like some high level, like I think, is this the best portable fission reactor you can get? It might be, but it requires crap like this, like alien artifacts and stuff. Ugh. Not great. This solar takes a while to get destroyed. And how's our iron doing? Oh yeah, look at that. It's we've got a ton of copper and we need a ton of copper. That's about right. Iron is almost the same, except we don't have a ton of it, probably because the ores are all dying. Yep. Yep. I feel sorry. There's probably a bunch of trains are like over here and they want to get over here. They've got to go all the way around, but it is what it is. 504 of those undergrounds, 504 of those belts, and 500 splitters. Okay, so all of these builds are doing pretty well. Not really testing the throughput at the moment, but they're at least building everything they need to build, which is pretty good. And yeah. So this is, oh, I think we can probably do this actually. I think we can paste that in. Yep. That'll get done over time. And then you also paste it in. Make sure we get all the stuff off to the side. Looks like we got everything, all the belts that we needed, so on and so forth. So that will double our iron ore, our iron thingamybobs. And that's pretty good. How's our robots looking? Over half of the logistics are now done, and almost half of the constructions. So another few episodes we should have nothing but blue robots, which I'm very happy about. Okay, so the real question is, what are we going to just jump into yellow science, or is there anything else we want to do beforehand? Okay, I don't think, look, personal equipment and modules, I don't think I care enough about either of them to hit them before we do yellow science. Better silicon ingots using triclose or whatever the hell it is. That was a problem because we were running out of carbon. We are no longer running out of carbon. We have carbon coming out of our ears, so that's not as much of a problem. For the proper mega base, like this is still a starter base, let's be honest. Not quite a starter base, but let's put it this way, when we build 18k SPM, almost every single one of these builds will be replaced. Like, they'll be replaced, they'll have max level prod modules, max level speed modules. Little builds like concrete that aren't used for science, they'll probably just stay the way they are, we probably won't upgrade them, but everything used for science will be replaced. Which is why I was a little bit iffy about duplicating the iron, because at the end game, with as many prod modules and speed modules as we'll be using, we might just be able to get away with one station producing 4 green belts of iron ore, because we'll just be prod moduling the hell of it down the line. But even in the short term, I think duplicating these stations is definitely the best move. Yeah, so I don't think there's anything else down here. We're not running out of sulfuric acid at all at the moment, so I don't think we need to go into sulfur processing 3 to make free acid. This was just a note as a way to get rid of sodium, blah, whatever it is. Right now, our ferric chloride is about 200k, and we're using up, ever since we started using aluminium, we've been using sodium hydroxide like crazy, so don't really need to worry about that too much. Yeah, I think we just go for it. What is this nickel? Because nickel is one of those things you think, oh, I don't really worry about it, don't need it. And then it's in a whole bunch of random recipes. Yeah, like roboports. It just sneaks in to roboports a little bit. It's just like, what the hell? Why are you doing this to me? Nickel ingots. They are used in a bunch of different things, but nothing that's really like nickel is easier to make than titanium, but it's not easier in terms of the amount of resources you need. Like, you're still using up the same amount of ore. In fact, if you take into account prod modules at every step, you're probably using more ore to make nickel than you are titanium. Steel, I can see it happening. Steel is definitely good, but you'd have to mix it with cobalt as well. So we probably end up doing this at the end game, because it's the most efficient way, because steel ingots is 4 iron ingots, which means it's a lot of raw ore. Bronze? Yeah, okay. That's... Not sure if that really makes a difference, because I don't think it's actually worth it. I've said that a few times, but yeah. Invar? Yeah. Nitinol. I don't think we got a choice with nitinol. Yeah, it's the only way to make it. And Invar is the only way to make it. I mean, nitinol is What do we even... I mean, Invar, you do use it for a lot of stuff. A lot of weird stuff. So I feel like Invar is one of those things that we just might need to make. Invar. And then Nitinol... Nitinol is like the final metal, I think. Yeah, it's pretty much the final metal. It's like after yellow science. Nitinol. I could have sworn there was another one. Yeah, it's tungsten carbide, that's right. Tungsten carbide. Yeah, tungsten carbide is the other one that's used for the top level everything. I don't think tungsten carbide is required for science though. Unless I'm very much mistaken. But I'm pretty sure for space science. So I'm pretty sure nitdol is used for something in here. But tungsten carbide, I'm not sure. It may not be. But tungsten carbide will definitely be required for... Yeah, copper tungsten plates, tungsten carbide plate, blah, blah, blah. So tungsten carbide will probably be maybe here. All right. Well, we've got a whole bunch of crap that we need to take care of. Where's my train? Crotinium. That didn't help. That's crushed stone. Why am I not finding crotinium? Okay, there it is. Don't know why I wasn't finding it, but anyway, we'll send it off. Okay. How did that get in there? All right, well, we've got a long list of things to do before yellow science. Technically, nickel and Invar probably aren't required before yellow science, but they might be because, you know, things like titanium probably require like the highest level of production buildings to actually make them, and they'll probably require Invar and nickel and blah, 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 blah. But it is what it is. So anyway, this is silicon? Yeah, silicon. So we already upgraded silicon to red belts. That's nice. Okay. So that means we got 4 red belts of silicon coming out. And we got 1 red belt of steel coming out. So we could potentially double this. Yeah, because we're going to have 12 belts of that. So we have 4. So we have 8 total going to steel. 4 total going to this. Yeah, I think that's what we might want to do, actually. So we get rid of this. Put another T intersection here. And then we just duplicate this guy. Get some more steel going. Oh, and we need to duplicate this one as well, don't we? Yeah. We're duplicating stations like crazy. I didn't think we were going to be doing it this fast, but... There you go. There you go. Well, we've definitely given the bots enough to think about. Yeah, okay. That's more than enough for the bots to take care of right now. So we'll just let them be, but we've effectively going to be doubling our steel process. We could actually... You know what? This one... 1, 2, 3... No, we can't fit enough stations are there to do that. So we definitely need to double the steel, but I feel like we don't actually need to... Let's Control Z a few times. We don't need to double this station. This one, yes, we need to double this one. But the other one, no. Don't need to double this. We can basically just build it up again. So we just do this. Yeah, Bob's your uncle. Okay, and then grab 2 more of those trains. And you go out like that. Ah, perfect match. And then we just have another one of these. We can just double this, can't we? Let's have a look here. So this is 7. 7 times... Well, it takes 30 of each. So it puts out about 600. So we're doing 1200 now. 1200. So it needs about 60 machines. So we got about 32. So we need another 28. Okay. And that is now a grand total of 60 machines, each one producing half a belt, half per second. So that becomes a full red belt of steel, which is 4 full red belts of the actual steel plate. Okay. And silicon should be fine. We've got more than enough silicon available, and steel, we just doubled that, so that should be fine. Okay, well, we're definitely putting our bots to the test at the moment. Oh, I've already got a decent amount of this happening, which is very nice. Even got some stuff in. I have been a little bit worried about this process. It's pretty good at the moment, but I wouldn't mind upgrading this to a red belt. It's a little bit janky to upgrade this, but I think we do it. Let's just double these. Okay. And let's just double this. And double this. And we'll build it with yellow belts now, and then we'll be ready to do it with red belts later if we decide we need to. Because, yeah, I've probably given the bots enough to do for now. Without putting these down as red belts as well. Or maybe I should just do it. Just do it. They'll get it done eventually. Alright, beautiful. Red belts eventually. Okay. Alright. Well, I think we're... What are we doing for time? 2:15. We've kind of done a lot of stuff this episode. A lot of very low-level, unimportant stuff. We've kind of just been finishing off our new belt build and upgrading a bunch of stuff and checking a bunch of stuff. Not really progressing much, but we've been cleaning up a lot. And I feel like the last few episodes we've been cleaning up a lot. Hello? Tin wire coils. That is not something I would expect to be falling over. Apparently it is. How much are these? Yeah, okay, we blame that on copper. And copper has been a bit funky. Probably because we destroyed a bunch of train tracks, but we could also probably do with another few copper ingot trains. Yeah, another few copper ingot trains would be a good idea. That is kind of the beauty of the design that I actually made in the Mega Ball. If we have a look at it again, basically, if you've got a lot of green and no red, then you're fine. If you've got a lot of red and no green, then you need to upgrade your station. If you've got a lot of red and a lot of green, that means you need more trains. So it's beautiful. The original design I had was actually just subtracting the red from the green and then displaying that. And I realized immediately that was a terrible idea. So now we put both the red and the green. And it gives us a beautiful insight into how the network is doing for each individual good. My God, batteries are dying. Tell me it's steel. It's got to be steel. It's steel. Okay, beautiful. If it's steel, that's fine, because if it's anything else, then we need to fix something else. But if it's steel, then that's fine. Okay. I kind of want to just let the base run. So we've got plenty of stations free. We got these ones, we got these ones, we got these ones. I'm not sure exactly where I want to build all the new stations. I feel like we'll get some petrochem stuff done over the left. We've got a bit of space to do that, but I'm not sure how much space we will need. Lithium will need a bit. All those different acids will need a bit. While we're letting the construction bots do a bunch of stuff, so you are 60 machines and you take 10 water each. Okay, so this process should still be fine. Let's have a look at the different acids that we got to make, because those... We have the wastewater in... Okay, so that's nitrogen dioxide, which takes nitrogen monoxide, which takes sodium nitrate, which takes nitric wastewater. Okay, so we do have nitric wastewater. And in fact, here's the really, really interesting thing. And I think this would be a very good thought exercise for this episode. So let's take a look at, I think rubite is the only thing that uses nitric acid. So let's have a look at this. So 2 rubite chunks produce 50 nitric wastewater. 2 rubite chunks require 10 nitric acid. So you got 50 wastewater and you need 10 nitric acid for the very next step. Now, ignoring productivity at the moment, if we ignore prod modules, then we need to be able to convert, for every 5 nitric wastewater, we need to get at least 1 nitric acid out of it. All right, so let's have a look. That's crap. That's crap. Okay, so sodium nitrate. So this is divided by 100. And then going directly. I don't really like the idea of going directly because we need to mix in sulfuric acid. And we can't be guaranteed that that's there, and I don't want to train it in. So we can get it that way, and that uses easy stuff. Nitrogen dioxide can also be changed into nitric acid. Okay, that's very interesting. So you can get nitric acid from nitrogen dioxide, and you can use nitrogen monoxide to also get nitrogen dioxide gas, which you turn into nitric acid. So bear with me here. I'm going to try and do the math in my head, but it's going to be a little bit confusing because this stupid thing gets converted to 2 different things. So we divided by 100. So we need to... Dividing by 5 is okay. So we need 1 sodium nitrate to translate to 20 nitric acid. Because divide by 100, we divide by 5 is okay. So we need 20. So this needs to turn into 20 nitric acid. Which means from 5, we need 100 nitric acid. Okay. Yeah. So am I getting it wrong? I feel like I'm getting it wrong. Because this is only producing 10. And this is producing 100. All right, maybe I'm fine. Maybe we are fine. Let's just double check the math. Go from scratch. So 50 and we need 10. So this needs to produce 20. So this needs to produce 20. So 5 needs to produce 100. So it produces 40. 40 produces 100. So we can vent the nitrogen dioxide. We convert the sodium nitrate into nitrogen monoxide. Combine that with 60 oxygen. Get that. Combine that with purified water. And we've got the acid. All right, beautiful. So nitrogen, we're fine. We just take the nitrogen wastewater, the nitric wastewater, and we get some extra purified water, mineralized water. We can just clarify. We can save the purified water because we need it later on. Compressed air is fine. Throw away the nitrogen dioxide, save the nitrogen monoxide, combine it with oxygen to get nitrogen dioxide gas, combine it with the purified water we got 3 steps ago, and we get nitric acid. Okay, so we do not need a station for nitric acid, which means we are actually have an offshoot station for nitric wastewater. Right here. So I'm not sure if we even need that anymore, but we might find another use for nitric wastewater. But potentially later on, when we start messing around with rocket fuel, it might come in handy. All right. So let's have a look at the next one. Hydrochloric. So we need 10 hydrochloric, and we produce 50 chloric wastewater. Okay, so that didn't work. Chloric wastewater. All right. Okay, that just goes into salt. Okay, that's not good. Crap. So that just goes into salt, but salt we can make for free using salination plants. Okay, well, how do you get hydrochloric then? Hydrochloric acid is hydrogen chloride gas. You can also make it from salt and sulfuric acid, which I really don't like, because then we need the sulfuric acid. That's kind of annoying, because hydrogen chloride, you need chlorine and hydrogen. Or you need some weird combination. Yeah. These are all extremely stupid. Yeah, hydrochloric acid. So it makes sense if we mix in the sulfuric acid, which I really don't want to do. So that's kind of annoying. Alright, so we get hydrochloric acid from hydrogen chloride and purified. So I think what we'll do is we'll just make hydrogen chloride right here. Because we got hydrogen chloride. We can get plenty of purified water. So hydrochloric make in same station as sodium hydroxide. Easy. So that's not really a new station. That's just extending this one a tiny bit. And we should have plenty of this stuff. I mean, we're burning half of it right now, so we should definitely have that stuff. All right, now fluoric wastewater. That becomes fluorite ore and a bunch of other crap we don't care about. Fluorite ore. That's... Okay, is that the only way to make hydrofluoric? I really don't want to mix in sulfuric acid. Although we do have the option to make sulfuric acid out of thin air using sulfur processing 3. So if we need to, maybe. We'll see how we go. But alright, hydrogen fluoride. That's a shit recipe. That's from the acid, so that doesn't really help us. That's a shit recipe. That's a shit recipe. That's a shit recipe. Okay. So there's no good way of making hydrogen fluoride easily. So we'll probably end up using this, which means we need the acid. Yeah. You can also make fluorite using this recipe. Givelite and ferrous powder. And tungsten hexafluoride gas. God, don't even get me started on that. We might end up needing to use that. God, I hope not. I mean, if we have a look at tungsten carbide plate, you definitely need tungsten powder, and you definitely... Okay, so we're going to absolutely be producing fluorite ore on the tungsten process, and then you have to mix it with sulfuric acid to get rid of it. Alright, this is going to be a nightmare. Tungsten is going to be a nightmare. Thankfully, we're not there yet, so let's just focus on the hydrofluoric acid. Let's just focus on it. Okay, so wastewater becomes fluorite ore, becomes a hydrofluoric acid, calcium sulfate. You mix it with purified water to become lime, and then... Son of a bitch. How do I vent this crap? I don't. It doesn't seem like there's a way to vent it. Well, that's a pain in the ass. So, calcium sulfate, like... How do you... Like, there's really no use for calcium sulfate other than making lime. Having said that, let's take a step back. You need 50 sulfuric acid to make hydrofluoric acid. You get the calcium sulfate, you convert that to lime, you get 50 sulfur dioxide, which is not quite a 1-to-1. So you get a good part of the sulfuric acid back with this stupid calcium sulfate. You get about 2/3 of it back. But you still need a bit more sulfuric acid, which we could use sulfur processing, which I believe is... Where's that? How did I get that sulfur processing? Sulfur from sulfuric wastewater. I think it was hydrogen sulfide. Which you then get from... I can't remember. Was it coal? Was it this process? Enriched hydrogen sulfide gas. I don't remember anymore. Where is sulfur processing 3? Sulfur processing 3. Oh yeah, that's right. Ooh, lime. Hello. Lime comes back into the picture. So we take lime and a filter frame. Hello. It's all coming together. I don't know if it's genius or madness, but it's all coming together. So here we go. We take the lime and we throw it into a filter frame to make a porous lime filter. We take the porous lime filter and water. We use it to make a bunch of wastewater and a used lime filter. And we use the used lime filter, turn it back into a normal filter frame, and get out some acid gas. Now the acid gas can be used to make hydrogen sulfide. Oh, it needs a green metal catalyst. Shit. That But it can be used to make... This is kind of how we make free sulfuric acid by doing this process. Okay. Let's... I think I'm just going to save myself a headache and make a separate hydrochloric acid station. Alright, we're making... Or, no, hydrofluoric, I should say. We'll make a separate hydrofluoric station. It's going to pump out lime as a byproduct, and we can do that sulfur processing 3 and potentially use that to get rid of the lime. And, I mean, we don't even necessarily need to make use of this acid. We could just vent it. And this would basically then, we vent the sulfuric wastewater, we vent the acid gas, and this basically just becomes a way of destroying lime on site. Because I really don't feel like shipping lime around. Like, it's not a thing that really needs to be. So this is basically just a way we could feed the sulfuric acid back in to the process, because we did say we needed a bit of sulfuric acid, so we could feed it in, make as much sulfuric acid as we can. But I don't think I want to go as far as to do that process that we mentioned before. What was that process? Whatever this process was. This process. I don't think we want to go through and do this process. I mean, we could. And it produces hydrogen fluoride as well, which ironically used to make hydrofluoric acid. So that's actually crazy. It's almost like this recipe was designed to make hydrogen fluoride, because you take the acid which you get out of whacking the lime in the filter frame, and you throw that acid into hydrogen sulfide, which you use to make the sulfuric acid, which you use to get this stupid process to get... Oh, I'm not even going to bother finding it. That's going to take forever. Why am I doing it this way? I don't know. The hydrofluoric acid or whatever. Yeah, this thing. And then you take the blah, 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 and you do the blah, 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 and you get whatever you need. Yeah. And then the carbon dioxide basically gets vented. But everything else is kind of useful. So, hydrofluoric acid using catalytic... If it's its own station, then I feel a lot better about doing this process. Because we use up all the lime we're getting. We'll need to ship in stuff for a green metal catalyst, but then everything else becomes very, very awesome. And we can actually... we can ship in the fluoric wastewater, because we're producing a bunch of it. We can ship in fluoric wastewater from wherever. Where is our fluoric wastewater? Oh, this is just sulfuric wastewater. Shouldn't these be full? Did I forget to put some... I think I forgot to put some undergrounds over here. Well, that's... It's not unsettling, but it's annoying. Although, I have a feeling we're not really low on sulfuric wastewater, so it's not like we're crying about that too much. But where is chloric? There's the fluoric wastewater. Alright, so we can yank some of this out, and maybe in the actual station that does the fluoric processing, whichever one it is, Givolite. Yellow is used for just cobaltite. So maybe we can ship out some wastewater there. Although I feel like I'm not sure I want to ship out wastewater from any of these guys. Just sink it all. And then, I mean... But if we probably will need to send it out from there. Because Because, I mean, here's the thing. Hydrofluoric acid. Requires either fluorite ore or hydrogen fluoride gas. This comes from the acid gas, which we get from... But we get the acid gas from this process, which requires the fluorite ore, which requires the fluorite wastewater. Eventually, we'll get some from here and we can spit it out, but for now, I guess we'll use up the fluoric wastewater from whatever the other station is, and I think we'll try and chuck it out. But the rest of them, I don't think we'll need to chuck out the wastewater. But for hydrofluoric, I think we'll need it. And then hydrochloric, I think we could just make that from... No, the hydrochloric. Hydrochloric, please. Yeah, we don't need anything else. We can just make that in a station and done. And then sulfuric is fine. We can just make that anywhere. Yeah, that's just sulfur dioxide gas. Since we're making these two, we don't really need to calculate the ratio, but for these guys, it's 10 to... That's 20... That's only producing 25? Yeah, they each only produce 25, but they still require 10. That's a little bit concerning. Yeah. So it's 20... So it's... What was it? 25 to 10. So for 25, we need to produce 10, which means for this one needs to produce 40. So one sulfur needs to produce 40. So 60 needs to produce 40. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. So sulfuric wastewater is fine. We can just directly use the sulfuric wastewater we get from this process to use to make sulfuric acid. And there was nothing crazy. Purified water, oxygen. No, not an issue. Not an issue. So we just need these two stations. One of them is easy. Hydrofluoric will be a little bit more complicated, and we may have problems getting fluoric blah, 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 but we can also, if we decide we really need it, we can get fluorite ore from this process using ferrous powder, which we get from crushed ferric mixture, which we get from these three. It's kind of annoying, but we can get it if we decide we need it, but we'll see how we go. Between one of these stations already spitting out the fluoric wastewater and the new one, cobaltite, will be spitting out a bit of fluoric wastewater as well, there we should hopefully be fine. And our bots are pretty much done with everything. Really? Okay, that's cool. Well, they're not done with everything. They're still getting a bunch of stuff done. Alright, we've got a little bit of power situation here. We'll join these guys up. Yeah, a little bit of power situation going on here. What's the... I mean, we can just put the basic block down a few more times. Yeah, basic block. That seems like the best way to fix it. Yep, basic block here as well. We hold down shift, but we don't hold down control, so it's not going to replace any buildings. All right, beautiful. That would be why this base is struggling, because it doesn't have enough iron ingots, and this one will also be struggling. Start getting rid of those trees. Yeah, we've got 0 trees in the logistics system, so we can definitely start getting rid of them. Okay, well, I feel like that's enough research for one episode, and I feel like that is probably enough for this stream. Hello, I'm not going to try pronouncing your name, but hello, Wawa. How old is this? This is episode 38, 37, I can't remember what number it is, but it's been going for 85 hours so far, and I've been playing live 100%, so no progress has been made offline, so it's all just 85 hours running at regular speed. I do about two and a bit hours per stream usually. This one's been going a little bit long, but yeah. Most streams are about 2 hours. In terms of real time, I'd say it's probably about 3-4 months old. Usually at the start I was doing 1 stream per week, but ever since I've been on holiday, I've been doing a lot more. So I'm not sure if I should roll it back, just start doing 1 per week, or I'll see how I'll play it. I'll see how we go over the long term, but yeah, it may start rolling back to 1 stream per week. It may continue going at full pace, but I'm kind of, yeah, still trying to figure out how I want to do this. But the way I think about it is, as long as, yeah, I don't know. I do not know, but we're doing pretty well so far. And these gaps in these belts are still just annoying. We have massive gaps in these belts sometimes. I don't know where they're coming from. I'm just going to watch this for a little while. But yeah, I think we're pretty much done with this episode, and it's been a nice little planning episode. And next episode is going to be basically just going through this checklist and seeing what we need to do. Now, one other thing we're going to double check, very, very important, is we're going to do, I think we're just going to do basic one, but this needs ore processing 3. We're not going to do that, although I think we have to. Okay, so this requires the blue chemical furnaces. Okay, so it just requires the blue buildings. If we jump straight into processed iron, processed titanium, then we'd require these purple ones. The big thing is going to be these buildings. Yeah, it requires the purple. The purple requires titanium. And blue processing units. Okay. Requires processing units and titanium. These ones don't require titanium. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure we can make these right now. They do require gold. And gold is required to make gold using the proper recipe. Does of course require a blue. So I think we're going to have to make some of these up. Hack them together. Which I really don't like. But we've already got a hacked together titanium process, which has 1.3k titanium. So maybe we'll need to hack together some gold and, I don't think cobalt, but we'll definitely need some gold hacked together so we can hack together some. Basically what we do is we hack together some gold, and then we can start making some ore sorting facility 2s, 4s, just a few of them, with some hacked together processing units and some hacked together reinforced concrete bricks. And then we'll use those to make these 2 processes, these 3 processes. Hybrid catalyst, that's another thing we need. Hybrid catalyst is actually very easy to make. Basically, all you do is you just combine the previous 2, but you need a crystallizer 3. Damn it. Okay. So we're going to need to hack some blue circuits. Hack blue circuits. We're going to need to hack some blue circuits together and reinforced concrete brick. I think reinforced concrete bricks are dead easy though. Like it's just, you just got to make, we could actually just make that reinforced concrete bricks. Probably it won't even, no need to actually hack them. We could just make them properly. Because it just requires the existing concrete brick build. And we just hook in some steel as well. And then just have another line over here making the concrete. Okay, beautiful. This one looks like it's going. All right, I think we're definitely going to finish it off here. I keep saying I'm not going to do this stream where I just keep talking because I just want to keep playing, but that's kind of what happens a lot of the time. Jeez, what's going on with these guys? Why are you not producing 2 full red belts yet? Obviously, you're just getting started. Power is... Oh, we are so golden when it comes to power. We are using 900 megawatts, and we've got easily enough to cover all that. Beautiful. Okay. So, we're going to finish it off now. We've got a very nice list of things we need to do. And we're going to have to hack together some of those ore sorting facilities, the purple ones, and whatever other purple buildings we need. I guess some of these we just said we're going to need. But yeah, that should be fine. The titanium pipes are just plates. And we're going to need to hack together some gold as well so we can make some blue circuits. But a lot of this stuff we can just make proper builds for. Gold we can't make a proper build for until we get gold. But anyway, we're going to finish it off now. And I'm just going to stay in this spot because it's a kind of a nice spot to hang out. But I'm going to leave it there. There we go. 8 full red belts of iron ore. And we're going to probably need to increase the amount of trains we have for sending iron ore around. But that'll come out pretty soon. God, I love how fast these trains get loaded now. It is just a thing of beauty. And I can't believe how quickly the bots created all these stations. They just went really, really nuts. All right, so that's done for now. Thank you very much for watching. I'll probably catch you guys... Actually, I don't know if I'll catch you tomorrow because I got a doctor's appointment in the afternoon, but we'll see how we go. So anyway, have a good one. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you guys later.